Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery. Today is Tuesday, August 6th, 2024, and we get together most weekday mornings to talk about strategies, tips, techniques, share success stories, all revolving around the space of accessing capital. When we applied for the grant and received the grant, it really renewed our commitment to building financial literacy. So today we'll be spending a few minutes talking about the grant that we received, how it can help small business owners access capital, and then for those of you that are interested in being an affiliate, how you're able to monetize that, how you can get paid for helping others. We're navigating from 4weekfunding.com, and certainly we're going to go through the information on this page and answer your questions. At any time that you have questions, comments, or concerns, please type those into the Q&A, the question and answer box. But I'm going to reverse this for a moment. So if you can think of anyone that you know that's looking for money to start or grow a business, why don't we just go get funding? Why don't we skip everything else? Let's skip the bullshit. Let's just go get funding. So what you can do is invite them to 4weekfunding.com, skip everything. Let's just say none of this is relevant to them. Scroll all the way to the bottom, number 8 right here. Let's go right to funding. Click on this. It's a secure online app. They can complete it. We'll get them funding offers today. Skip everything else, no upfront cost. They put in their business information at the top. If they don't have any of that, they can leave it blank. Business owner information on the bottom. They'll submit it. And bam, we'll get them offers. So if they're fundable, if their business is fundable, nothing else on this page matters. Skip all the way down, go to number 8, click that, get the application, help them complete it. They'll get funding. We guarantee them a minimum of $100,000 in writing. You as an affiliate, or you can become an affiliate if you're not already, you make 5 points of their capital raise, which means you make a minimum of $5,000. So let's just make this webinar a 3-minute webinar and then hang up and let's just go on about our day. But what happens if the client doesn't have a fundable business? Will they get business funding offers? No, or if they do, they'll be smaller. Thus, that's the reason that we applied for the grant and received the grant, is to help create fundable businesses. A lot of people really don't know what that means. What does it mean to have a fundable business? Yeah, I want funding, but there's a difference between what I want and what I need versus what I qualify for. So when it comes to funding to start or grow a business, it's important that we understand what lenders are looking for, because lenders are going to do the underwriting that determines if we get approved or if not, and if so, how much can we afford to borrow? Well, since we realized that, we applied for a grant, we received a grant. Information about our 501c3, by the way, is at the bottom of the page. But what we did is we put together a concise, a practical, a transparent process to take any small business from ground zero to being fundable in 28 days, in less than a month. Now, I know you might be thinking, well, what if the business already exists? What if it already has some elements of fundability? Great. Yeah, if it's not broke, we're not going to fix it. But let's just assume that we're going to have a discussion for the next few minutes where we start with a clean slate and we build a business that's fundable. Let's pretend that you and I are building a house, and we got to start with the foundation of the house. We'll erect it, build it, and then the people can move in. So week 1, what is it that we're going to do with each client in week 1? Now, again, this is assuming that they're not already ready to go to funding. If they're already ready to go to funding, what did we say? Skip everything, go down to number 8, click that button, get the application in, we'll get them offers today. But let's first talk about what it takes to be fundable as a business, and then how you and I can help those individuals. So we need to start with a business plan. And I know a lot of entrepreneurs, the analogy that's often used is The typical entrepreneur is so busy pedaling his bike or her bicycle that a loose fender or a missing reflector doesn't matter, right? Just so busy. And so sometimes we think, well, a business plan sounds fine, but no, I don't really need that. I just need funding, right? Just get me funding. So again, if anyone wants to skip all those steps, come down to number 8 and we'll go right to funding, assuming they're fundable. So what we know is that a business plan is important for a couple reasons. Number one, it helps the entrepreneur figure out, well, what is it that I'm going to do? How much money do I need and what am I going to use it for? And so probably the most important part of the business plan is called the use of funds. And so often when I've had the opportunity, when I worked for the SBA before or now with the 501c nonprofit, so often people really haven't thought through what they need funding for. And that doesn't work well for a business loan. Maybe for a personal loan, because that's what happens. A lot of people see everything through the consumer mindset. Hey, to get a personal loan, I don't need a business plan. That's true. It's different. But businesses can access much more capital than people can. And one of the requirements is typically going to be a use of funds. So we're going to help the client in week 1 create a business plan. It doesn't have to be a drawn out bureaucratic process, but at least we need to know how much funding does the client need, the participant need, and what for, because that's going to make a tremendous difference in the other steps and where we go for funding. Also in week 1, what we're going to do is go ahead and help the client get some initial seed capital. So depending upon what they qualify for now, they'll get offers. They can select the offers they want. They can decline those that they don't. There's no hard inquiries to get the offers, and it just provides them some working capital. So again, I understand a lot of people, I don't want to do all this. I just want funding. Great. Scroll down, go to number 8, click the button, app will come up. We'll get you funding offers today. But if we don't have a business plan, there's a strong likelihood that we're not going to get approved for a business loan, because traditional business lenders want to know, what do you do? How much money do you need? What are you going to use it for? So this is an example. Forgive me. It doesn't really matter what you think. It doesn't really matter what I think. It's what lenders care about and think. And having a business plan is essential. So that and seed capital in week 1. Does anyone that's on the live webinar today have any questions about week 1? If you do, questions, comments, type it into the Q&A, the question and answer. So the deliverables are real clear. We're going to help create a business plan and financial projections, and if the participant wants, get some initial seed capital. Now, no one's asking this morning, quite frankly, but usually someone will say, well, how much seed capital can I get? I don't know. We're going to have to fill out the app and see what you qualify for. We're not the lender. We have a consortium of over 40 different lenders that, without a hard inquiry, kind of compete for our participants' business and will make independent offers. Like I was working this morning on a client, and the client's largest offer for seed capital was $41,000. And so I assume that he'll accept that today. So yes, we're talking about cash funding week 1, because that was Jacqueline's question. Is it cash funding? Of course. Okay, so now let's move to week 2. And again, you might say, oh my gosh, how many weeks are there? Well, there's 4 weeks to create a fundable business. And you might say, oh no, I don't want 4 weeks. I just want funding. Okay. Come to 4weekfunding.com, scroll down, click here. We'll go to funding today. But that doesn't mean that all these things that we're discussing is not relevant, because they are relevant. And if we don't have these things that we're talking about, such as a business plan, and show that our business is solvent and the other elements we'll be discussing momentarily, you're either probably not going to get approved for less. So let's move on into week 2. We have a 4-week process. Week 1, we've gotten a business plan created, especially that use of funds flushed out, and their initial seed capital. Now we're into week 2. We know that a business, just like that house that we were pretending to build in our analogy earlier, needs a strong foundation. If we want a fundable business, we need a strong foundation. And that starts with a business address. And again, I realize you may say, and I've had clients almost get irate. Well, I work from my home and that's just fucking fine. Well, to you it may be, but we're not trying to please you. We're trying to please and meet the underwriting criteria of a lender. And most lenders are going to want to see a traditional business address, meaning not residential, not post office box, not shared. So we know that that's often a shortcoming. So when we applied for the grant, guess what? We included it. So I should have mentioned, we write the business plan, help the client the business plan for free. We're building the business, or we provide the business address, and then we're going to turn around and file for a new entity for funding for free because of the grant. And we'll come back down here and summarize all the free stuff. But if the client already has a business, that's fine. We can help the client evaluate, is what they have fundable? Are there any issues? Have they not filed taxes? Do they not have strong bank statements? Is there anything that would keep their current business from being fundable? If their current business is strong, we can skip this step and move forward. Same, if they have a business plan and it's strong, fine, we can skip that and move forward. We're not here to do any more work or take any more time than what's necessary. Our end goal is what? It's to come down here and go to funding. But we know what typical business lenders are looking for. They're looking often for a business plan. They're looking for a credible business address that's not a shared address. And of course, they're looking for an entity that's in good standing. You know, an entity would be an LLC, a C Corp, or S Corp, not a sole proprietorship. Now, as I go through this, it's very important to realize different lenders and even different loan programs have different underwriting criteria. So I don't want you to walk away from today's Zoom and say, well, Tom said every lender requires a business plan, and I know one that doesn't, so Tom's full of shit. Well, no, in general, lenders want a business plan. Not all. In general, business lenders want a credible business address and an entity that's in good standing. So these are traditional underwriting elements that often entrepreneurs are either ignorant of or dismissive of, and it keeps them from getting funding. So we do these things for free. You understand? We applied for a grant. We do these things for free. We're not trying to sell the client something. We do it for free. And if you want to be an affiliate, you can help people do it for free, and then you get paid. Now, the funding, I should mention, is not free. We get paid a performance fee after the client receives funding. Rather, they go right to it or go through the steps. That's how our affiliates are paid. All right, let's move on to week 3. Well, let's recap. So we created the business plan. We put some seed capital in their pocket. We provided them a unique commercial address, and we filed with the Secretary of State. We paid for all that. Client didn't pay for any of that, all right? So now we scroll down to week 3. Now we're halfway there. We need to have collateral. We need to have collateral. Most lenders, business lenders, are going to require collateral for larger loans. What's collateral? It's something that shows on the business's balance sheet that can be pledged. So it could be real estate, it could be equipment, it could be accounts receivable. There needs to be something on the business's balance sheet that equals the amount of loan that they're applying for. Guess what? Many small businesses lack that. Many small businesses won't get funding because they don't have collateral. Well, guess what? We recognize that. So we literally transfer over collateral legally and ethically to put on the client's balance sheet so they're strong. And then additionally, if the client wants to, the participant wants to, they can participate in the opportunity fund. So these are two different things that happen in week 3, but we're making the business look legally and ethically strong on paper. Here, we're putting assets on the balance sheet. Here, we're putting bank deposits. We want to have at least 5 to 7 bank deposits per month to look strong. We know a lot of small businesses don't have that, or they don't have that yet. So guess what? we make that available. That takes us over to week 4, the final week, right? Because we said this is a 4-week program. Now we're in week 4. Now we need to pull together all of the documents and get prepared for funding. And I know people don't want to do any of these things. They just want the funding. So that's why I started our conversation today a little bit differently. Anyone can go to 4weekfunding.com and we'll skip this, we'll skip this, we'll skip this, we'll skip this. If the client feels that they're fundable to get go, skip all of that. It's unnecessary. Come right down to number 8, click here. It's going to pull up an app and we'll get you funding offers today. No upfront cost, no hard inquiries. Great. Let's say that you're not quite sure. Well, you could call us and we could discuss it, or come on down to number 8 and we can see how it looks to begin with. But what we do know is that there are a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of small business owners that do not meet these fundability, these credibility standards. And so we've applied for a grant and we do all of this for free. Now, let's describe how the grant works. It's a $5,000 grant. We applied for it. It's $5,000 per participant. The grant will cover all $5,000 for each participant. However, what you need to understand is the grant covers 80% of it up front and 20% of it as a refundable deposit. So if you or someone wants to participate in the grant, 4-week funding, green box, they're going to click on that green box. And this is going to allow them to opt in. And again, of course, it describes what we're going to do. So it's great. The grant up front covers 80%. The participant pays 20%, which is a refundable deposit. We go through the 4-week curriculum. And then at that point, they can decide, do they want to move forward with funding? Most do. And then if they do, then we'll move forward using our proprietary lender match technology. What does that mean? We put the data of each participant in the system, and the system identifies the right lender and the right loan program based upon their mitigating circumstances. So it's not a one-size-fits-all. So often people will falsely consolidate everything into that there's just one place to get funding. And that's not true. There's hundreds. There's close to 1,000 different business lenders and loan programs we can go through. So it's true, half the battle is going after the right type of funding. So what do we do in the 4-week program? And again, if you don't think you need the 4-week program, fine with me. Skip it all, come down to number 8, click that, the app will open up. The app will open up, and let's get you offers today. But what we can reasonably expect is that if we don't have a business plan, our business doesn't look like that it can afford a loan, if we don't have a good business address, if we don't have a business that's in good standing with the federal and state government, if we don't have collateral, if we don't have some deposits, and if we don't have the packaging of the material, we probably are not going to get approved for a large business loan. That's exactly why this was built as it is. So with that being said, what is our proposition? For zero cost, we will help someone create a business plan. We will help them get access to initial seed capital. We'll provide them a unique commercial business address. We will file with the Secretary of State and then also with the IRS, the EIN. We'll do a transfer of collateral, which we said in week 3. We'll provide them access to the Opportunity Fund if they want. We'll help them with the loan packaging, and then we'll go to number 8. So who has questions, comments, concerns on what we've covered today? The reason we get together weekday mornings is for you, not for me just to talk about this, but what do you need to know? If you're a client or a prospective participant / client, what questions do you have? If you're an affiliate or a prospective affiliate, what questions do you have? And then I'll pull back up what I should have put up here to begin with, which was our learning objectives, and we'll go through and make sure we met those. And of course, our phone numbers here at the bottom. So we have 425 of you on this morning, a great showing. Anyone have questions on why the 4-week business funding program exists, why it's important, how it's free, how the refundable deposit works, how the funding works? What questions or concerns do you have? Now, don't ask us, what's the interest rate going to be? We don't know what the interest rate will be. Lenders determine that. Participants get offers. They pick the offers they want. They decline those that they don't. We don't get some sort of power of attorney where we're forcing people to take funding that they don't want. So let's recap this, and I'll give you each a moment to type in questions or comments into the Q&A box. So in summary, our 501c3 nonprofit, and you'll see information about our nonprofit at the bottom of the page, received a grant to assist entrepreneurs in improving their financial literacy and increasing the access to capital. The learning objectives for this morning is we wanted to make sure that you walk away knowing what critical fundability factors are, regardless if you can work with us or not, for businesses to become fundable. And I think we've covered that adequately as we talked about the 4 weeks, why these 4 weeks exist. These aren't space fillers or just bureaucratic tasks. This is essentially creating a fundable business. We explained that this program is free, not the funding portion. The funding portion, there will be a performance fee. There will be a performance fee because that's how our affiliates are paid. But we do this for free because of the grant. And if you can find a better offer to get all of this for better than free, let me know, because we should be talking about it, not about our program. I don't think you're going to. We talked about how we'll work through this process aggressively in a 28-day period, so we have a fundable business in less than a month. We didn't talk so much about this. I hinted towards it. Some people merge consumer lending and consumer finance with business lending and business finance. We need to try to separate that. So businesses have their own credit score algorithms. It's different, goes from typically 0 to 100, 80 or above is considered good. So businesses are different than people, business credit's different. And so sometimes people get all caught up. Oh, my personal credit wouldn't ever allow me to get business funding. We need to stop thinking that way. We hit on the opportunity fund here, talking about week 3. The reason for that is that a stronger business shows that it has daily deposits, at least 5 to 7 in a month period. You might say, oh, no, Tom, you don't understand. It's a new business. How could they have that? Well, businesses can generate income quickly, and if they can't on their own, we can subsidize that. We talked about free resources, and you see the word free, 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 free. A lot of things that we're doing for free to help participants. I guess I didn't talk about this so much. I did mention that there's lots of different lenders that we can go to funding with here with number 8. So let's separate lending into starting lending and finished lending. So the starting line is seeing what clients qualify for right now. That's based upon their mitigating circumstances as they come to the table. And then after the 4 weeks, we do the preparation, and then we go to funding. And so there are about 40 lenders that we work with for this first tranche, and there's hundreds of lenders we work with on the final business funding, just to clarify. All right, let's go back to our objectives. Again, if we just want funding today, this all sounds great, and sure, grants are wonderful, and I'd love to have a $5,000 grant, but I just need funding today. Fine. Skip all of that. Come to 4weekfunding.com, go to number 8, click on the loan application, fill it out, and we'll get you the offers that you qualify for today. That's perfectly fine if that's what you need. Scams. So often when you're dealing with money, especially in turbulent financial times, there are scams. Well, we're obviously not a scam. Number one, we do what we promise to do. All of our promises are in writing. We have an arbitration provision in our agreements, both with our participants as well as our affiliates, where if we don't do what we're supposed to, we sit down with an arbitrator to resolve it. I can tell you with great pride, we've never even had one time, not even one time, where a participant / client or a distribution partner said, hey guys, you didn't do what you promised to do. We need to go sit down for arbitration. So we're not perfect, but we aspire to do what we promise to do. We're accountable to do what we promise to do. And that's the opposite of a scam. So don't worry about that. And again, you're welcome to call us with individual points of discussion. All right. Ron asked, let me go back to the main page here. Ron asks about, I think he's asking about the performance fee. His question isn't quite clear to me, but we'll scroll down. So as I've attempted to be very clear and transparent, there is a performance fee when we go to funding. There on number 8, there is a performance fee. If not, there wouldn't be enough income coming in to reward our affiliates for helping build financial literacy and feed people in. So yes, Ron, there is a performance fee. It's 10%. Half of it goes to the affiliate, and then 2%, so 5% goes to the affiliate. We're not MLM or network marketing, anything like that, but we have master affiliates. So master affiliates get 2 points. The affiliate gets 5 points. So there's not much left for us, but it's okay. We are a 501c3, as stated here. So that's the way the performance fee works. But notice, Ron, we give people the option, and we applied for the grant specifically. We can help people through the 4 weeks, and this part is optional. If they don't want to move forward to loan funding, they don't have to. So a client doesn't have to pay a performance fee. That's why it says optional here and optional here. So there's not a gotcha. Jason asked about becoming an affiliate. Yes, give us a call, Jason, and we can help you get set up as an affiliate. And affiliate programs are mainstream. You know, Amazon, Walmart, Target, Louis Vuitton, Tiffany's, Lamborghini. Most businesses now have affiliate programs. And what that just simply means is you get a link or a page, you refer people to it, and people that enroll or purchase or buy, whatever the verb is based upon the circumstance, then you're paid. So, and again, we're very transparent. So with our affiliate program, we pay 5% to the affiliate, 2% override to the master affiliate. And if you want to become an affiliate, let us know. Give us a call. We'll see if you're a good fit. We'll get you set up. You'll have a landing page, and then you'll just drive people to your landing page. You're not responsible to sell anything to anyone, and you can help people come directly to funding, or alternatively, you could help them come through these 4 steps. You know, funding's always the goal, right? Why would we bother doing these 4 steps if we didn't want to get funding? But it's fine. You know, you Jason, you could feed everyone in for funding initially, and if they don't get as much as they want or need or desire, then they could come back and go through the curriculum as a second step. That's fine. And that makes it real simple for you because there's no upfront cost to get your funding offers. Thank you, Jason. Anyone else have questions regarding who we are, what we do? Greg's asking about the 501c3. So yes, we've been a 501c3 now, I think 2 years running, and it's going well. We have collaborations with many other organizations. Let's see here. Jacqueline's asking about the performance fee. So the performance fee, which is 10%, is paid after the client receives funding. It's kind of like being a realtor. You get paid at closing, so it's after the fact. So people can come here and get funding offers. It'll give them the app. This is the app, right? Because I clicked on it here. I'll click on it again so you see it. So let's close this. So if we click here, it brings up this page, and they fill out the app. Now, let's say they don't have a business yet, so they can leave all that blank, but the business owner information is required. So you see the little stars. Or let's say they have some of this, but not all of this. That's fine. But yes, you can refer people in, Jacqueline, to get a funding proposal. They'll get the offers, and then if they need help becoming more fundable, then they could make this step 2 instead, or I guess they could do step 8 first and then cycle back and then go through the 4 weeks if they wanted. That's up to you. Any other questions regarding who we are, what we do? There's a little 5 or 6 minute summary video. We're here to help small businesses become more financially literate and help you earn an adult income as an affiliate. Affiliate programs are real. They're not, again, not saying anything negative about MLM or network marketing, but affiliate programs are mainstream. 80% of medium and large businesses have affiliate programs. And so you're welcome to be an affiliate. Our affiliates typically do this as a side gig. So they're busy doing other things with their main time. But the average affiliate refers in one prospect a day, about 20 a month. We know the affiliate will make at least 5,000 for each person they refer in because they're getting 5 points, and we're guaranteeing a minimum of $100,000 capital raise. So, I mean, it's a good side income, Todd. I don't think it's going to replace your primary income, but an extra 100,000 a month is good side income for most of us. All right, last question, and we'll go. Jacqueline's asking about the 5,000 grant. So the 5,000 grant is specifically to cover the cost of this 4-week program. The grant covers 100% of this. However, it covers 80% upfront, and then the other 20% is a refundable deposit paid by the participant when they enroll. It's like an apartment. Have you ever rented an apartment where you had to pay a deposit, and then once you fulfilled what you promised, you get the deposit back? Same way with a grant. 80% up front is covered by the grant. The other 20% is paid by the participant at the time of enrollment. Then they get that back when they've completed the process. All right. Well, thanks, everyone. Let us know what we can do to help you. Again, our phone number is 903-200-8781. Give us a call, 4weekfunding.com, if you want to give it a try, either here, which is this link, which will bring you into the 4-week program. Or if you say, hey, I don't have time for that, I just need business funding now, and I think I have a fundable business, scroll on down, go to number 8, click that button, and we're good to go. Thanks, everyone. See you back tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.